Legacy Maker, the All Sports Network.
Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to one-on-one at Legacy Maker Sports Network.
Excited to have you all here with us for another episode of One-on-One here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network. And we are hitting here. The quick ones have been coming quite quick this year. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at week 12 of the NFL season. Very, very, very pumped as we're hitting Thanksgiving. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I hope everybody's getting ready to get that turkey on, go to work. I know tomorrow we're going to have it all ham and all that good stuff. We're going to have it all ham, cranberry. No, let me not lie. I ain't eating no cranberry tomorrow. That stuff is nasty. My man Randall Burns, quick shout out to him, talking about macaroni and cheese and the disrespect. I love you, Randall. I swear I do. But, man, no, sir. We're not doing that. Not going to disrespect macaroni and cheese that way. But, yes, we're very excited. Of course, it's going to be a great day for food, family, and friends. But, of course, you can't forget the other F in the 4 F's here: food, family, friends, and of course, football. So we got that all going down tomorrow. Week 12 getting underway. You got the Lions and the Bears at 12. Then at 4:30, you got the Raiders and the Cowboys. And then to finish tonight, you got the Bills and the Saints. So 3 matchups tomorrow. They all should be really good matchups. For me, let me go back on that. I don't know about that Lions and Bears matchup because hopefully the Lions fans out there, I hope they get their first victory of the year tomorrow. Come on, Lions. It's time. I mean, let's get Dan Campbell a win, man. I mean, nobody deserves to go defeated. Obviously he did get a tie in there a couple weeks ago, but let's get the man a victory. Come on, Lions. So I think I'm gonna pick the Lions, and this may cost me, but when we see our pick'ems this week, I'm going with the Lions. Cowboys and Raiders also tomorrow. I think the Cowboys are going to bounce back from last week, or the Arlington football team, or the Arlington Desperados. If you listen to us on the Legacy Maker Sports podcast, we're going with Dallas in that one. And then, of course, Buffalo and the Saints. Buffalo needs this one. They can't afford to lose this one right now because guess what? The New England Patriots, we've been talking about it for weeks on this show, how good this New England Patriots team has become over the last couple of weeks. So you better watch out for them because Matt Jones and the boys not playing games. That's what it is. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get the party started. We came a day early because of Thanksgiving, so we wanted to bring you a Wednesday edition of One-on-One, and we're going to bring you the ranking. So let's go ahead and get it started like we always do on here, ladies and gentlemen, with the bottom. Now, sitting in at the bottom this week, of course, and unfortunately, the Lions. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that the Lions are in this position, and I hope that one day we can move the Lions up on this countdown. Doesn't look positive right now, but they are 9-1. We got them sitting at number 32 on this countdown. So very interested to see if they can pull off the win tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's going to be the look or if that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. The Lions are at 32. At number 31, the New York Football Jets coming in at 2-8. The Jets last week, it's hard. They fought hard against the Dolphins. They're on a Dolphins team that is on a 3-game winning streak. The Miami Dolphins are on a 3-game winning streak. They are not playing games right now. They've been playing really good football. And so, I mean, if you are a Dolphins fans, you got something to be happy about. But we got the Jets at number 31, 2-8. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in at 2-8, and Jacksonville, unfortunately, nothing impressive It just hasn't been going their way. But Jacksonville at number 30 on the countdown. Number 29, the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans come in last week, beat the number 1 ranked team on our on our power rankings. I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all. I was surprised. I didn't see this one coming. I didn't see the Texans getting the victory, but I'm happy for them, man. 22-13 over the Titans. Titans are beat up. But when you're a good team, you find a way to persevere. And they almost made a little run, but Houston's defense came up clutch with the pick towards the end of the game. I think they got Tannehill twice, if I'm not mistaken. The Texans are at number 29. At number 28, we got the New York Football Giants. The Giants, man, they had a tough go at it on Monday night against the defending Super Bowl champs. There's a lot that's going to be discussed this offseason about the Giants and what moves are going to be made. And if Joe Judge is the right guy there in New York, we got the Giants at 3-7, and we got them at number 28 on the list. Next, the Seattle Seahawks, another team where a lot of discussion is going to be made over the next, couple of weeks heading into the offseason and all that good stuff. And what's next for this Seattle team? They have looked miserable. Even with Russell back the first 2 games, they did not look too great against the Cardinals last week, losing 23-13 with the third string quarterback in. They lost to the Packers a couple weeks ago, last week, 17-0. So, Russell and the guys haven't been able to get that thing going yet. So they've got to figure out, what's going to be the next step for them and what they can do here in the next couple of weeks and see if they can bounce back. The NFC is still open, so it's not completely out of things yet. At 26, the Chicago Bears, 3-7. The Bears had some injuries in that contest against the Ravens. Fields went down. They brought in Dalton. Dalton gave him a little bit of a spark. It just, wasn't enough, as the Ravens were able to find a way to get the victory in that bad boy. The Bears are number 26 on our countdown. Next, at number 25, the Miami Dolphins, probably the hottest team in the bottom. Miami had been thinking all the way down to like 30 on our countdown. And now look at them. I mean, the last couple of weeks, this team has shown a different life. And if you know from my predictions at the beginning of the season, I had Miami sitting pretty tall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought they were going to be in the playoffs, and it's not out of their mind just yet. But if they keep the streak going, we'll see. We got the Dolphins at 4-7, and they're 25th on the countdown. Next, we got the Atlanta Falcons, 4-6. Atlanta, boy, that game against New England was just tough last Thursday night. It was a bad deal, and if you're a New England Patriots fan, you got to be happy with what you've been seeing from Mac Jones and the boys, and I'll talk about them a little bit later. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I know my man Danny Thompson would be highly upset with me, and when he sees this. But I mean, Danny, you gotta understand, brother. You got to understand. I mean, it's hard for me to put the Falcons a little bit higher on this list. Next, we've got the Washington football team at 23 at 4-6, a 2-game winning streak, looking pretty good the last couple of weeks. Beating the defending champs, then come out here beating Carolina. And then this week, on Monday night, they got a Seattle team that is desperate. So if they can get a win here, all of a sudden the Washington football team are 5-6. So the East is not won just yet. So if you're Dallas, you got to watch out. You got to be you got to watch out and kind of make sure, hey man, watch out for this Washington football team. But we'll see. I don't want to blow their horn or toot their horn too much right now. At 22, the Denver Broncos, they're 5-5, and the Broncos have had a really, I don't know, man. It's really hard to say. They needed this break, and so hopefully they can, bounce back in the weeks to come. They're 5-5, still in the mix in the AFC. 21, the Panthers. I feel like these two teams have been kind of connected all year, or been near each other in the rankings all year, and the Panthers slid right on down after a big win against the Cardinals last week. Weren't able to get the win this week that just passed against the Washington football team. I picked them. I thought Cam's return was going to be tough for Washington to overcome, but I was wrong. All right, once again, at the bottom, Lions 32, Jets 31, Jaguars 30, Texans 29, Giants 28, Seahawks 27, Bears at 26, Dolphins at 25, Falcons 24, Washington football team at 23, Broncos at 22, and the Panthers are at number 21. Now, out of the teams in the bottom, I will say the teams at the bottom that kind of intrigue me the most: Washington football team. We don't know if they're gonna, turn this thing around. The Dolphins are another team that kind of intrigue me in the bottom. Will they be able to, make something out of what has been, a disastrous season? They lost 7 straight. If they can find a way to make the playoffs after losing 7 straight, wow, how amazing would that be? And how good would that look for Brian Flores and the crew if they can make that happen? All right, now let's swing over to the outside looking in. Outside looking in this week, the Saints are at 20. The Saints last week, just, boy, that Eagles game was crazy. Philadelphia scored 40 points in that contest, and they had it well in hand. The Saints tried to make a push late, but it was just too little too late. The Saints are 5-5 and are falling. The injuries to Kamara, no Winston for the rest of the season. Michael Thomas is done for the season, and Peyton and the crew are just trying to get themselves back on the right foot. They're still in the mix, and I'm going to keep saying that's going to be a theme throughout this. They're still in the mix. This whole group is still in the mix in both the AFC and the NFC. Next at 19, the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh man, this Raiders team is hard to watch from time to time. 1 week they're beating somebody that they're not supposed to. The next week they're getting beat by somebody they're not supposed to. So this Raiders team 5-5. The highest they've been on this countdown, they were at 7 at one point. Now they're back at 19. They were 5-2, and they've lost 3 straight. Next, we've got the Eagles, who are 5-6. I'm very impressed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me say that out loud. They could have easily given up this season. I had them finishing like 3-13, but they have played really good football for the most part this year. If not anything, they've been in games, they've been competing. I like what I've seen from Jalen Hurts and the crew, and people are writing off Jalen Hurts, even though he's having a really good year statistically. So watch out for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I'm not saying they're going to take over the world, but they could make some noise. Another team that could make some noise, the San Francisco 49ers, 5-5, coming off of that amazing victory over the Rams last week. They go in there and they beat up on Jacksonville this week. That just passed, and now they're sitting at 5-5. So now, once again, the 49ers are making noise. Another team to watch out for. So watch out for the 49ers at 17. 16. This is going to hurt my heart to even say it out loud. I can't stand the Minnesota Vikings. Can't stand them. But the Minnesota Vikings went in there and got a dub at home against the Green Bay Packers last week. Green Bay had a chance. I don't care what anybody say. That was an interception. I don't care if you say bobbled it or whatever. I thought it was an interception. Regardless of the situation, the Vikings starting to creep back up, trying to make their way 5-5. They're another one of those teams that you never know what you're going to get from them week to week. So there it is, y'all. The outside is looking in here, heading into week 12. The Saints, the Raiders, the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Vikings on the outside looking in. Now, with those teams, the teams pretty much from 18 to 16 kind of intrigue me the most. Eagles, 49ers, and then, of course, the Vikings, because any of those teams can catch fire and really make something good happen for them. So we'll see what happens there with those teams on the outside looking in. And now we hit you with our top 15 here on the Power Rankings. Sitting at number 15, the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland struggled against the Lions last week, and the Lions were so close once again to possibly get another victory, or getting a victory, I shall say. And it just, every game this year feels like they've been in the mix and just have not been able to pull it off. So this Lions team losing 13-10 to the Browns, who have had their own struggles this year, trying to get, find their way and get back to where they need to be. I could easily have the Browns 20 on this list, but I still like what they have overall if they can get everything together. So I'll keep them at 15. At number 14, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh coming off a loss to the Chargers, 41-37, an amazing game, a shootout. I mean, just a great game from beginning to end, and it kept you on your toes. Pittsburgh lost that one. They're now 5-4-1 on the season, and, still in the playoff mix. We'll see what they can do in the weeks to come. The Indianapolis Colts. Now, this team right here, this is a team that I feel like you have to watch out for. Why? Because you got a potential MVP on your team in Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor went off, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Jonathan Taylor. So I'm not going to go too deep. But the way Carson Wentz is playing, the way this team is playing as a whole, they're playing good football right now. Really good football. They were I believe they were like 1-4 at one point, maybe 1-5. 1-4 at one point. And you look at them now, they're 6-4. They're playing good football. Watch out for the Indianapolis Colts. At number 12, the Los Angeles Chargers. Another team at 6-4, but you never know what you're going to get from week to week. One week they look like a lights out team, and the next week is like, So they're at 12, but the Chargers at 6-4, coming in 12 on the power rankings. At 11, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, another team at 6-4, a team that you see a lot of potential on the offensive side of the ball. They're a little weak on their defense. That secondary is not the best, but I like what I've seen from this team offensively, and they can hang with the best with Mixon. You got Boyd, and you got Higgins, and you got Chase. I mean, it's just a really good offense. But to see if that defense can step up and maybe help the Bengals make a run. At 10, the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Pat Mahomes. This team started off number 2 in our initial countdown, and you look at them now. They've been all the way down to the bottom, and they've crawled themselves back into the top 10. So that just shows me a team that can persevere and make it through tough times. So good job for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 7-4, and things are looking good. Got to give them credit. And their defense is still, in my opinion, not too hot, but they've done good things. So the Chiefs are now in first place in the AFC West after being in last place. At number 9, the Buffalo Bills. This team is probably I would say probably in the most trouble, because a lot of people had expectations for this Buffalo Bills team, including myself. I had Buffalo going to the Super Bowl. Not saying that still can't happen, but these midseason troubles have really made me a little nervous about this Buffalo team. Josh Allen is talented. That team is talented. They got good receivers. It's just something about them that just seems amiss. They've lost some games the last couple of weeks, especially that one in Jacksonville, that have just been kind of like, Buffalo, what is going on? They got destroyed by the Colts, a Colts team who is on fire, by the way. And, probably having a little revenge after what happened to them in the playoffs last year. So, Buffalo's got to watch out. They've got to watch out because they're struggling, and the Colts are starting to creep up. I probably should have the Colts in this spot, to be honest with you, but Buffalo is just too talented overall for me. I just still think they'll bounce back. At number 8, ladies and gentlemen, the New England Patriots started this season at 22, and they have slowly but surely crept their way all the way up to number 8 on the countdown. And so you look at this team, and I'm impressed. I've never been excited about a Patriots team. Maybe like the first year they went to the Super Bowl, with Tom Brady, and September 11, and you wanted to see them, make magic happen. That's the last time I was excited about a New England Patriots team. I'm excited about this team. I like what Mac Jones is doing. I like the coaching job that Bill Belichick is doing. This may be his best coaching job, other than that first Super Bowl. This is probably his best coaching job, in my opinion, because there's a lot of who's that person? What? That's what you get a lot of from this team. But Mac Jones and the crew are doing good things. They're 7-4. They got the Titans this week. If they can beat the Titans this week, man, could you imagine the New England Patriots creeping back up and maybe taking the number 1 seed in the AFC? Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. It could happen. Watch out for New England. At number 7, the Los Angeles Rams. 2 miserable weeks for the Rams. 2 miserable weeks. They, lost to the Rams. Lost to the 49ers. And then they had that game against, who did they play the week before last, y'all? I having a brain fart, but whoever they played the week before last, they struggled in that contest. And just seeing what this team has been like, they needed this bye this last week that just passed. They needed it. They needed it big time. And these 2 losses they've had to the Titans, that's who it was. The Titans and the 49ers. Let's see if they'll bounce back. They got the Packers this week. Big game against Green Bay in Green Bay. At number 6, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore led by, Lamar Jackson was a little sick in this one. They still were able to find a way to win the game. It was not looking possible, but they found a way to win the game against a hungry Chicago Bears team in that contest, but they pulled it off. So much love to the Baltimore Ravens. They sit steady at number 6. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. This one was kind of hard for me. They lost to the Chiefs, and I wanted to have them a little bit higher, but I'm still trying to give the Tennessee Titans a little bit of respect. But I got Dallas at 5. They're I feel like at some point they'll be number 1 on this countdown, but they're still in the mix. And this week, they've got a chance to go in there this week and beat this Raiders team, get the 8-3, and keep things rolling for Dallas. So I think they can make some leeway next week, but they've got to bounce back for a tough week against a miserable, ladies and gentlemen, miserable Kansas City Chiefs defense. But they played well last week, so give credit where credit is due. Next, number 4, speaking of the Tennessee Titans lost to the worst team in football, or the next to last, or the next to worst team in football in the Houston Texans. So I should have dropped them a little bit further, but they were number 1 last week, so I try to give them the benefit of the doubt coming into week 12. But if they lose this week against New England, you watch, whoop, right down the countdown they go. Number 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, slowly but surely creeping back up into the top 3. Tampa Bay at 7-3 had a nice victory over the Giants on Monday night. So good job to Tampa Bay. They're number 3 on the countdown. Number 2, the Green Bay Packers. Now I could probably put Green Bay below, but I thought they put up a great effort against Minnesota. Probably should have won the game. Still should have been an interception. I don't care. I still should have been an interception. But nevertheless, Green Bay, we got them at number 2 in the countdown. And, Aaron's dealing with toe injuries. They got injuries all over the board. They kind of remind me a lot of the Cardinals. Just too many injuries in some big positions and big places. So we'll see if Green Bay can bounce back from that. Again, a very tough matchup against the Rams this week. And at number 1, reclaiming their spot, who I think they've been number 1 the most on this countdown, and that's the Arizona Cardinals at 9-2. Arizona, without Kyler Murray, without DeAndre Hopkins, have found a way to stay relevant. They've only had 1 loss in that time frame since they've missed the last 3 games. So great job. They lost to the Packers and they won, and since then they've lost only 1 other. But Arizona is still a really good football team. And just imagine when they get Kyler and Hopkins back, how much more dangerous they will be. All right, there it is. There's a power rankings heading into week 12. We're going to do a quick recap before we give you our top 5 MVP candidates heading into week 12. So let's go ahead and start it off real quick. We go to the bottom. Lions at 32, Jets 31, Jaguars 30, Texans at 29, Giants at 28, Seahawks 27, Bears at 26, Dolphins. I think there's going to be a team on the rise. Watch out for the Dolphins. They got a game this week not this week, but they play next week. And so when you see the Dolphins, man, watch out for them. I got a really good feeling about this Dolphins team. They can make some moves. They got the Giants the week after that. They can move to 5-4, so watch out for them. Falcons at 24, Washington football team at 23, Broncos at 22, Panthers at 21. Then we got the Saints at 20, the Raiders at 19, Eagles at 18, the 49ers at 17, the Vikings at 16. Then we hit the top 15. The Browns are at 15, the Steelers at 14, the Colts at 13, the Chargers at 12, the Bengals at 11, the Chiefs at 10, the Bills at 9, the New England Patriots are at 8, like this New England team. Number 7, the Los Angeles Rams. Number 6, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. Number 4, the Tennessee Titans. Number 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 2, the Green Bay Packers. And number 1, the Arizona Cardinals. All right, number 1, once again, on the power rankings. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's finish this bad boy off proper. Let's give you our midseason list. There's midseason now. We haven't got a late season yet. We got a couple more games before we hit the late season list. But now we're hitting once again at that midseason list for our MVP. So here we are. Number 5, Lamar Jackson. Yes, they were able to get the victory without him, but you see how important he is. And a couple of these cases depend on how important these players are to their team, and without him, what they would be. Jackson is a case, in my opinion. Yes, they did get the dub, but it was a tough one. Kyler Murray, I don't want to take him out of the top 5 because he was performing amazing up until the injury. And he will be back. Unlike Henry, I've taken Henry completely out because he's not going to be back till the end of the season. If he comes back before then, I'm pretty sure I will creep him back in there depending on performance. And number 3, Dak Prescott. He was number 1 last week. Tough week for him against the Chiefs. He needed another strong performance against them, but the Chiefs were able to get the dub. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns last week for 385 yards on a bad foot. And so I got Rodgers at number 2. But number 1, and deservingly at number 1, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is having himself quite the year. And, you know, he has bounced back and he's done some really good things. I'm just very impressed from what I've seen from Jonathan Taylor. Very impressed. And he is, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they do against Tampa Bay, you know, this coming week. I'm intrigued, you know, because he has just been an absolute stud. 13 touchdowns, 193 carries, and 1,122 yards. So Jonathan Taylor right now is my MVP. And it's hard because it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year trying to decide the MVP of this league. And I still think it's going to change a couple of times, obviously, before we hit the end of the season. But it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I really don't know where to go with it. It's been that crazy. But there it is, y'all. There it is, the one-on-one edition, Power Rankings Week 12. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is Thanksgiving. Have a great day tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Look, I'm about to relax these next couple of days. I ain't got nothing going on. I do got UVA, Virginia Tech on Saturday. I will be hitting that up. Probably hit up Virginia versus Richmond women's matchup on Sunday. But rest of the week, man, I'm just going to chill out till I, you know, got some business due on Monday. So very excited about all that. Everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. You know, show love with your family, hug the ones you love, because you just never know, man. Things have been crazy. My mom's birthday will be on Sunday. God, I miss that woman, you know, with all my heart and soul. And, you know, you just never know. So hug the ones that are close to you. Show them love. Tell them you care about them every single day if you can. If not, a small message every now and then just to show them how much you care. All right, everybody. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. It's been an honor to bring you another edition of 101 here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network. Make sure y'all check out the Legacy Maker Sports News Update, which I try to bring you daily with the teams that we cover here in the Virginia area, and as well as some in D.C. with the Washington football team and so on and so on. All right, everybody. Until next time, I'm your man, Darrell Owens. Have a merry, merry, merry Thanksgiving.
One. Welcome to the 101. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one.